Good morning, my maths group. It's Thursday already, and today for our arithmetic starter, we're going to be looking at using inverse operations to calculate an answer. Now, this is a type of question where you need to work backwards and do inverse operations to work out the number that this person is thinking of. So I'm just going to pause the video and get to the whiteboard so we can work through one together, and then your opportunity to then have a go at your own before us having a look together to see the answer. So children, this is an example of the questions that you're going to be having a look at today. I think of a number, I triple it, take away 10, double it, then add 9. I get 31. What was my number that they were thinking? So we need to start at the very end with the number that they get, 31. And then we work backwards and do the inverse of each operation. So the first one, it says I add 9. Well, the inverse of adding is subtract. So I need to subtract 9 from 31. And we get 22. And it says double it. Well, double in means times in. So the inverse of times in is dividing. How many am I dividing it by? Well, double means 2. So I'm dividing it by 2. So 22 divided by 2 equals 11. Then it says take away 10. Well, the inverse of taken away is adding. So I need to add 10 onto 11. Now I could do that mentally, but I'm just showing you each step as I go along. Then it says I triple it. Oh, tripling means times in by 3. What's the inverse of that? Well, I need to divide by 3. So I do 21 divided by 3, and that equals 7. I've got no more steps to do, so I'm thinking that the number that they start with is 7. But I don't take that as my answer. I'm wondering if you can think to yourself, how can you check that 7 is the right answer? Well done if you said, well, let's start with that number 7 and work through each step to see if we get to 31. So let's try that together then. We start with 7 and we triple it. So we multiply 7 by 3. In this instance, 3 sevens are 21. I then take away 10. So that leaves me with 11. I double 11. Double 11 is 22. And then it says I need to add 9. Well, if I add 9 onto that, I get 31. They're saying I get 31. Therefore, you know that you've done the calculations right and each stage correctly. Right then, children, your chance to have a go now. I think of a number, I multiply by 6 and then add 5. I get 59. What was my number? So think about the steps which we worked through together. Pause the video, have a go. Once you feel that you've got an answer, unpause the video and we work through it together to see the answer. Right, excellent children. Well done for having a go. Let's have a look then. So I think of a number, I multiply by 6 and then add 5. I get 59. What was my number? So I need to start with 59. It says here, add 5. The inverse of that is subtracting 5. So if I subtract 5 from here, I get 54. And it says multiply by 6. Well, the inverse of multiplying is dividing. By how many? By 6. So 54 divided by 6. Now you need to use your 6 times tables or your multiples of 6 to work out what the answer is. Okay. Now, if you're not too sure, start with the fact that you do know. So for instance, I'm just going to write it down here. 6 times 6 is 36. Well, if I add another 6 onto that, 6 times 7, I get 42. If I add another 6 onto that, 6 times 8, I get 48. Now if I add one more lot on, 6 times 9, I get 54. So hopefully you would have known those facts anyway, but if not, you're not too sure, use those multiplication facts to help you out. So I'm thinking to myself that 54 divided by 6 is 9. So I'm thinking to myself that the number that they started with is 9. But we need to check that, don't we? One way of doing that is starting from thinking of that number 9 and working through each step to see if we get through to 59. So let's have a go together. So we're thinking that the number they started with was 9. So 9 multiplied by 6 is 54. So we've done that part there. Then you need to add on 5. Well, if I add on 5 to 54, I get 59, which is the correct answer. These questions are great because you can check through to see if you've got the answer right once you have got it. Right, well done children for having a go at that. Now your question in your arithmetic starter for today is this one here. Joe thinks of a number, he doubles it, adds 25 and then subtracts 4. His answer is 141. What number did he start with? Now remember children, start with 141 and work backwards doing the inverse. Once you think you've got the answer, start with that number and do the process that Joe has gone through to see if you get the answer back at 141. Now, if you do, you know you've got that answer right. So really well done. If you didn't, you're going to have to do your calculations again. Watch a video if you need to remind yourself. Have a really good session. Enjoy your main learning as well. And I will see you tomorrow.